Good evening, you are welcome once again to Face the Press, and my name is Ohanaeze. In this edition of the program, we are going to discuss issues surrounding the socio-cultural and Apex Igbo organization, Ohanaeze Igbo. And with us this evening to discuss these matters and Nigeria's political affairs is the Anambra State President of the Ohanaeze Igbo, who is president of the 7 Igbo-speaking states where Ohanaeze exists. He is Elder Dr. Chris Oseloka Eluomono. Dr. Eluomono, you are welcome to Face the Press.
Thank you.
Yeah. And with me to interview him are my friends and colleagues. On my far left is Alfonso Sweze of the Newswatch.
Yeah, viewers, you are welcome to the program.
And here is Chuks Ilozwe of the Independent newspaper.
You are welcome.
You are once again welcome to the program, Chief Eluomono.
Thank you.
Yeah, recently you addressed a press conference here in Oka over matters affecting the Ohanaeze Igbo. But one clear thing you threw up is that there is a controversy, surrounding the leadership of your party. Do we really have factions in the Ohanaeze?
Well, thank you very much, Amota. We don't have factions, simply put. We don't have factions in Ohanaeze. When you have people who are job seekers, people who are seeking favor, opportunists, I should say, who for the past 6 years have been idle, and they now see an opportunity to grant stand. So the issue of a faction does not exist in Ohanaeze, but we have one Chief Eleno Obioha on his own say they have set up a caretaker committee of Ohanaeze. I don't know where that is coming from. It is not known to our constitution. Meanwhile, the Ohanaeze tried to be cautious about this. We went to court and asked the court to stop them from parading themselves, as which the court did. There's a subsisting court order that they should stop parading themselves about as caretaker committee of Ohanaeze, and they are flouting it.
This man you just mentioned, Chief Rafo Biora, has a close association with one of the foremost First Republic politicians, Chief Mbazulika Amechi. And recently, Chief Obiora led a group of people he called Ohanaeze and people of the Southeast Zone to the president-elect. And the president-elect, from all indications, welcomed and accepted them as real representatives of Ndigbo.
No,
how do you react to this?
No, he wouldn't have done that. Buhari knows more than that, because during his campaign, he wrote to Ohanaeze that he wanted to come and see us and discuss with us. So he knows the proper Ohanaeze. These people are APC supporters. They are APC stakeholders. They have nothing to do with Ohanaeze and Igbo. And going there to pose as that was an organization they tried to set up to destabilize Ohanaeze during the elections, during the campaign, because Ohanaeze wanted to endorse Jonathan. So they created this organization, to destabilize Ohanaeze, which they couldn't. And Mbazulika Amechi is a highly respected Igbo man. I will not come here to say anything against him, but you know that his age, senility could step in, and you have to pardon him for that.
Okay. Alphonsus?
Yes. Let me also take a cue from the moderator's question. In that press conference, you said that Igbos are not begging for job. And I want you to make a clarification. Because we can see that what is happening in the nation now is that it is jostling for key positions. The president of the Senate, the speaker of the House of Rep, the SGF. Unfortunately, even the SGF that was said to have been zoned to Southeast by the APC, Chief Dr. Chris Ngige told us that the party has not formally zoned that position. So, what should be the position of Igbos now, since we say that we are not jostling for seeking for jobs?
Thank you very much. The Igbo man has not been known for that. The Igbo man is a Republican, an industrialist, a businessman who works on his own. The Igbo man has not been known for jumping around looking for positions and all that. That is why the Igbo man at times becomes apolitical. In politics, we cannot say we are anywhere in this country politically, because the Igbo man is not interested in politics. As a matter of fact, it's like we're not trying to force the Igbo to understand why they should be in politics, why they should be in government. You understand what I'm saying? So for you to go to Abuja in the name of Igbo, asking for positions, it's unlike Igbo. It's unlike Igbo, because we don't do that. And the Igbo man will never do that. The Igbo man is a self-sufficient person. He believes in himself rather than somebody else. That is why whether you make an Igbo man president in this country or not, the Igbos are not interested. All they want is their daily bread, their business to thrive. If you stop them from importing their business into the country or exporting their business out of the country, then you've hurt the Igbo man. But I want them to understand that if you don't have a government, you may not be able to achieve all that. That is why the Igbo man is in politics at all. Otherwise, they're not interested. Even the day election was going, some of them were in the field playing football, in the shops, opening markets and all that, especially the House of Assembly election. Having said that, nobody delegated Ohanaeze and co. to go to Buhari to ask for positions. It's a constitutional issue. All right? Whether you vote for Buhari or you didn't vote for Buhari, it's neither here nor there. It's a constitutional matter that must be addressed in a proper way. There's a procedure for political appointments in the country. That procedure must be adhered to strictly. If an Hausa man, Buhari is an Hausa man, is the president of Nigeria, president-elect, and the Yoruba man is vice president-elect, it's only fair that Igbo man takes the next powerful position in the system, which I think should be the secretary to the federal government of Nigeria. That position unarguably should be kept from Igbo. We don't need to ask for it. You don't need to beg for it. And I want to say that the fact that Igbos did not vote for APC, some Yorubas did not vote for APC, Rivers did not vote for APC, they just did not vote for APC, the Akwa Ibos did not vote for APC, not just the Igbos. And you cannot just have Igbos going jostling for this position. The Yorubas for 16 years have been in opposition. And they never jostled for any positions. They never went to the president to ask for positions. They allow him to do, but they insist on their constitutional rights. And that is what Ohanaeze is going to do. We will insist on our constitutional rights. Whether we voted for it, it's neither here nor there. Who we voted for is neither here nor there. We're talking about constitutional issues.
But sorry, you said the Yorubas have been in the opposition for 16 years.
Yeah, I never jostled for positions. They never went to the president.
No, but Obasanjo is a Yoruba man. He was the president because he started this Fourth Republic as the president of Nigeria, and is a Yoruba man. I mean, well, wouldn't you consider
he tricked the Yorubas into voting for the PDP in his second tenure. In his first tenure, he lost even in his home. The election in his village, in his compound, he lost in his first election. In the second election, he tricked Yorubas into coming over to PDP. And what happened after that second tenure? They all went back to their system. Yorubas have been known to be in the opposition. Yobe, that Yobe is Gongola, Yobe Boronu.
Boronu, yes.
They've been in opposition for the past 16 years. And some other states that have been in APP before they formed this mega party, the CPC state and all that, they've been in opposition, and none of them went to Jonathan to hustle for position after the election, because they knew the man would do the right thing, and the man did the right thing, even favored them more than those who supposedly voted for him. So why should we go hustling for positions? It's unlike Igbo. We don't do that, and we will never do it. But what we do know is that what belongs to us, what is due to us, must come to us.
Well, Chief, maybe you are taking it for granted, but I want to also observe that if Ohanaeze took a position of supporting President Jonathan during the election, it is a little bit politics. And so to say that the Igbo man should be complacent and wait because his position must come to him might be a little wrong. Don't you think so?
I don't think so. We're talking about constitutional issues here. If it's a PA, special assistant and all that, he has the right to appoint whoever he likes. But we are talking about key positions. And ministerial appointments is a constitutional issue. You must appoint by what our constitution is today. Every state must be represented at the NEC, the Executive Council, federal FEC. Every state must be. So you won't appoint a minister from Igbo states because they didn't vote for you. Is it possible? It's not possible. There must be ministers from the Igbo states, basic, and there must be Igbos in federal board appointments. That one is basic. It depends on what you are looking for. Let me tell you, what the Ohanaeze is looking for right now is somebody who will implement the National Confab Resolution. That is where the solution is, not who is the president. If that Confab Resolution is implemented, you don't care who the president is, because everything has been provided for at the state level. But what they could not achieve at the confab, they will now want to achieve through the presidency, and we will fight it. We will fight it. We will not allow that. Buhari must give Ndi Igbo, the southeast, that one state that was approved for us, he must give it to us. That one extra state must be given to us. Maybe you must have read that United Nations invited those Biafran agitators to attend the United Nations meeting and all that. So it is still open. The issue is still open. They've invited the Biafran agitators to come for United Nations meeting in New York in June to discuss the Biafran issue. So, I don't know.
Okay, sir, are you not bothered that this confab report might not be adopted or implemented by the incoming federal government of the APC, given the fact that the APC boycotted the national confab, which you, as a person, also attended?
Yes.
I mean, are you not worried that since APC and President-elect turned their back on that they will not be as enthusiastic as you would like them to be over adoption and implementation of the confab report?
Yeah, it is true that APC boycotted the confab, but the Yoruba states did not boycott the confab. The northern states did not boycott the confab. They were ignored. APC gave instructions as a party that they will not participate. But all the Yoruba states sent delegation to them and participated fully. All the northern states sent delegation and participated fully, including those states controlled by the APC. They all sent delegates and they took part in the confab discussions and resolutions adopted. Government is a continuity. You start from where somebody has stopped. If Buhari turns his back on the confab, he's turning his back on the unity of this country. If he kills the confab, he's killing the unity of this country. And if he wants the unity of this country, he should go and read that confab report and see the contents, not just to dump the whole report. Let him go through it. Let him set a committee to go through that confab report and let them advise him. But if he totally rejects this, he's totally rejecting the unity of this country. And where it will end, nobody can tell.
Yes, sir. What is the situation in Ohanaeze now? When is the tenure of the President General going to end, and the new elected executive take over? And which state is the turn now to produce the President General? I want to know the politics now in Ohanaeze.
Thank you very much. The tenure of Ohanaeze as amended is 4 years. All of us been there 4 years. The people who left before us stayed for 4 years, and we came in to stay for 4 years. That 4 years will terminate in 2017, January. That is when there will be election. If you think you are popular in Igbo land, Ohanaeze belongs to the entire Igbo, wherever, no matter where you are, Rivers, Delta, overseas. If you're a real Igbo man and you want to contest for that position, you come to Enugu, the day of election, file your papers. If they have forms for election, you buy form and fill, and you come there and stand for election. It's by election, it's not by nomination.
So there's no zoning in
No,
zoning
there is zoning, because if you don't zone, then it will not be fair for bigger states to always come out, because like Delta, we have very few Igbos in Delta. In River State, it's not a whole state that is Igbo. In Delta, it's not a whole state that is there. We have the Anioma, in Delta, and we have the Queres in Rivers, So these are smaller units of Igbo communities. So you have to give them opportunity. The last PG came from Delta State. It is only by zoning that they could get it. If it is by election, like that, open election, it will be difficult. Now I think that the next PG will have to come either from Imo State or River State. In these two states, I'm not too sure now, but either of the two states will produce the next PG. And then the other offices will rotate as well. But every state must have a vice president.
But does the smallness of the population of Igbo in each state have anything to do with how much the president exerts control over?
No. Because the election, when you are nominated for a River State, for instance, because in Rivers it's just the Quere communities that are Igbos there. If you are nominated as President General to contest from that state, the whole Igbo community in Ohanaeze will vote for you, not just your state. So you are not elected by your state, you are elected by the entire Igbo General Assembly. Yeah. So everybody is carrying you along.
Okay, so I take my question now.
Go ahead.
I think it's time we talk about our assessment of the incoming administration. A lot of people have, speculated. In your own opinion, how do you think, or what do you think that the administration of Muhammadu Buhari will look like as he steps into office on the 29th of May?
Well, thank you very much. When I was coming here, there was a guy who said he's a prophet, and he was talking to me about prophecies on Ohanaeze, and I listened to him. And at the end of the discussion, he asked me if I had any question. I said, in prophecies, you don't ask questions. You only watch and see prophecies come true. That was my answer to him. So my answer to you is that they think of Buhari has a magic wand to change the entire country, the tier system in one sweep like that. I have to watch it. Because to much whom is given, much is expected. They've said so much about him. Corruption, he's corruption free, he's this, is that. We are yet to see all that. You know, because when you criticize from outside, you see everybody who is watching a football match is a coach. They know what a player should have played to score a goal or what a player should have played to the man watching the football match. But when you send him into the field to play, it becomes a different ball game. We are watching Buhari. So much has been said about him. Is he not a Nigerian? Is he going to work with angels? Or is he going to work with Nigerians? The characters around him, Tinubu, Azubike Amechi, River State Governor, Tinubu, Fashola, these are characters around him that will guide him, that will advise him, and you say this man will be corrupt-free? I'm yet to see that. I'm watching that. Whether he's going to import angels to work with them as ministers or he's going to work with Nigerians as ministers. But we are all disturbed about this corruption issue in Nigeria, though it has been overflowed, because there's no place you don't have corruption in the whole world. But that of Nigeria appears to be, because you understand? It appears our own corruption, we are carrying it on our lips, our mouth, and on our head, and moving around the world. Let us see. Because I believe that when you have a system that has stayed for too long, they may not have much to offer anymore. So you need to change that system. You understand? So what is happening now is a divine intervention, I believe it. Let us see what is going to happen. Because our system has been stuck. We need a new life into the system. Let us hope that Buhari will bring in this new life into the system. We need a change of system, actually. You know, because when you stay in one place for a long time, you find that you are no longer, you have nothing more to hold. Whether this syndrome of dwindling effects, you know, in the system. In economics, they call it diminishing effects, you know, in economics. So we're running into diminishing effects in our system because we can no longer go forward because of one party system that we've had for too long. So this change is a welcome change, and we need to support it, and we need to see what happens thereafter. Because when you bring a change, you need that change to be better than what you have presently. If that change cannot better our present situation, then it is no longer a change. So we all pray that that change will come.
Okay, so talking about change and corruption, and given the fact that Buhari is known to be living an austere life and a very disciplined man, can we really have this change and thorough fight against corruption if we don't have structural change or reform in Nigeria as recommended by the Constitution, by the National Conference?
Thank you very much. I'm happy you read that constitutional report. I have said in my previous statements that if Buhari wants to fight corruption, he should visit that confab report. That structural change is what will bring about free society, free corrupt society. That structural change is what will bring people in line, in tune with what the whole world is saying. Without that structural change, you cannot fight corruption in Nigeria. If you come to inherit what is there, what has been, and you say you're going to fight corruption, you cannot. Is he going to send away the Tinubu? Look at what the recent publication from USA on Tinubu to cut in.
But I mean, that's a mere allegation.
No, it's not an allegation.
We shouldn't take that hook, line, and
well, I'm not taking it, but he was taken to court from the report in USA. Before he became a governor, he was an accountant somewhere. He was tried for drug, and there was a compromise on the court order, and he was allowed to go. One other senator who was elected also, he was also being looked for United States for drug. He has been elected as a senator in one of the political parties. So, is there an internet? I mean, I'm not the one who put it there. There was a trial in the United States involving him over drug matters. So, people with this kind of record, people with this kind of report, are the people who are leading you. He is your leader. Is he going to send him away? Is he going to send Abechi, who used River State money to fund the campaign, his campaign? First of all, the money they used in funding his campaign, where did it come from? These governors who funded his campaign, how much is their salary? And the money they put funding his campaign, where did they get it from? And you tell me you fight corruption. Let us see what is going to happen.
And that brings me to this very important question. APC governors and governors-elect, led by Rocha Sokrocha, made the president-elect and was asking him for a bailout. Some of them are owing salaries for about 3 to 6 months. I don't know your take on this, because we have a revenue allocation. Every state collects its own, manage your resources. We have House Assembly that passes the appropriation bill for you. How can we now be going to federal government hand in cap, begging for money to pay salaries?
Yeah, why wouldn't they do that? 6 months they couldn't pay their salary because they used the salary of workers to fund the campaign. So Buhari understands where they are coming from. So you should find a way to bail them out when he becomes the president, because they used the money they would have used for payment of salary to fund his campaign. That was where the money he used in his campaign came from. So they're in trouble. After all, they collected money from the commission in Abuja every month, and the salary was there, but they used it to fund Buhari's campaign. So Buhari should help them out.
Everything is drawing near, and what will be your advice, really, that will guide the incoming administration?
My advice that will guide the incoming administration is that let him open the books of the confab resolution and read it thorough and set up a committee to advise him on it. That is my advice. And if he really wants the unity of this country, and if he really truly wants to fight corruption, he should change the system. And what the confab did was to change the system. There will be too much money at the federal level. There will be too much money at the state level. Everything has been balanced. And then states should now put in money to develop their own internal resources, to generate funds. Every state in this country has more than 50 mineral deposits in their various states, especially in the whole north. They have gold, they have diamond, they have precious stones, they have all sorts of minerals there. Let us develop those minerals. And if every state is encouraged, like we said in the report, 5% of federal intake should be directed towards that. There should be a spread. Give money to this from 5% of federal intake. Give money to the states for this purpose. You can create a ministry. That's a ministry for mineral resources development. Create a department in the presidency, if you like, and control them so that they can exploit those minerals in the states and generate revenue. So I will leave this oil problem thing. We depend so much on this oil. And when we depend on oil, and oil is down now, the whole economy is down. That is the problem. But this country is very rich in mineral resources. Very rich.
Okay, sir, I think I'm going to ask the last question. At the point you said that Ndi Igbo have become apolitical. And I don't think I agree with you, or that even if I agree with you, that the Ndi Igbo, I mean, at what point did Ndi Igbo become apolitical? Given the fact that men like late Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was the doyen of Nigerian politics. He fought for the independence of this country. At what point did Ndi Igbo become less interested in politics of Nigeria? Has it got anything to do with the outcome and the after effect or aftermath of the Nigerian Civil War?
Thank you. I think after the Civil War, Zik tried to galvanize the Ndi Igbo into the political arena. But after that, what happened? We got NPP for Igbo states, and we used that NPP to benefit more from at the center. During the election, the MPN tried to capture those PDP states and the MPP states, and that accord went away. Now look at the voting pattern. The last election, the Igbo knows what they want when it comes to politics. During the House of Rep and everything, they were nonchalant. Look at our voting strength. But during the state election, where they have to give the governor people to work with, you saw what happened. They came out and voted massively for Abga because they knew the importance of giving the governor people to work with so that he will achieve his goals at the end of the day to the benefit of the Anambra state, for instance. They gave him all the states so that at the end of the day you have nothing to complain about. They gave him the people to work. So you can see the way our politics go. When it comes to national politics, the problem we'll have, let God keep us alive. I will insist and I will fight for it that the next president after the North will come to the Igbo man. Let us see if the Igbo can produce a president.
Since after the voting, and other part of Nigeria, especially the southwest and the north, it appears that they are apprehensive of our voting pattern. And since then, they have a casting aspersion on the Igbo race in the internet, in the newspaper. Maybe because Foloshe has denied it, but he was quoted as, casting aspersion on Igbo race for voting the way we voted, and we go after our stomach. But that is the thinking of the mainstream Southwest. How do you react to that?
And how did the Yorubas vote, if I may ask, in the last election? How did they vote?
Voted ethnicity.
It was a mixed feeling. In most states, it was very close and tight. PDP, APC, very close and tight. So how did they vote? In Lagos State, so for the first time, 2 Igbos went to the State House of Assembly.
The House of Reps?
For the first time.
3 in the House of Reps.
House of Assembly and House of Rep. Igbo won election to go into the State House of Assembly, Lagos State, for the first time in the history of politics in that place. Because usually they will bring the Yoruba man to come and contest the election where the Igbo population is, and he will win. But this time around, the PDP gave Igbos, non-indigenous, the opportunity to contest, and 8 seats went to non-indigenous in Lagos State House of Assembly. The Igbos won. There too, Federal House, the same thing. So you can see that anyone who is saying cast aspersion on Igbos for what it was, how did they vote themselves? But in the North, massively, let me tell you, the North saw this opportunity to take back the presidency, and they grabbed it with their 2 hands. Opportunity to take back the presidency, because the North cannot stay for another 4 years without power. Remember the Sokoto slogan, born to rule, before it was changed. So they could not stay, or they cannot stay for another 4 years without power. And they saw that opportunity and they grabbed. Look at the massive rigging they call election in the North. Even children of 12 years were seen queuing up in the line and voting, and nobody complained. Nobody raised an eyebrow on that. So it is neither here nor there. They both did what they needed to do, and they did it right.
So you have no apologies?
No apologies for that at all. No apologies.
Okay. The 2 transition committees set up by PDP to ease out Jonathan and welcome Buhari, and the one set up by Buhari, and they seem to be having a conflict.
No. Usually, I've been in government, I've been in the system. I was chief press secretary to the governor in Enugu State at the time. Old
Anambra State.
I was the chief press secretary to the governor. When you are transiting, the incoming will bring in people, the outgoing will bring in people, and they set up a transition committee that will work together. And at the end of the day, they will present their report to the presiding president, who will now endorse the report, because he's going to fund the ceremonies and everything. He's still the president until the 29th. When you hand over, he's still the president. So the handover ceremonies and all that will be funded by the present administration, not the incoming one. You understand? But he has to work together, because people you are inviting, Buhari has his own people he will invite. Jonathan has his own people he will invite for this ceremony. So that is the idea, of working together, so that that day everybody will be there from both sides of the administration, so that nobody is left out. That is the idea of having this transition. When you are doing this committee thing, you must have in mind that there is only one president in the country. There are no two presidents. And that president is the one who will take the report of that committee, not the incoming one. All the expenditures and expenses that will run for the ceremony will be handled by the present administration. You cannot do anything until that day you are sworn in on the 29th. When you are sworn in, that the president steps out and you step in. Whatever you want to do, you can now do.
Yeah. The political scenario in Nigeria. What is the position of APGA?
APGA?
Yeah. Does APGA have a future?
Does he belong to APGA?
I don't belong to APGA, but as an Igbo man, I can talk about APGA. APGA has a future if they can reorganize properly. APGA, Ohanaeze has sympathy for APGA. We see APGA as a prospective party the Igbos can step on to spring into the political arena. But that the way they manage the party is not the best. We had NPP. The first chairman of NPP was a Yoruba man. Then the Secretary General was a Benue man, Paul Onongo. When Paul Onongo left, a Jos man, the brother of the Jos traditional ruler, Solomon La was the chairman of the Board of Trustees. You see the spread, even though it was an Igbo party, but this way they spread the management of the party to bring in people from outside the Igbo land. You cannot have a leader of a party in Anambra State, have chairman of a party in Anambra State, have the chairman of the Board of Trustees from Anambra State. You have confined the progress of that party within Anambra State. So they need to spread out. So that in the next election, let us see whether we can do what the Hausas did. Because the Igbos can spring a surprise. But we need a party, a strong party, to do that. In 1990, you can say massive voting for that party. The entire 7 Igbo states. And we won Senate in the River State under NPP. We won Senate seat in River State. Obiwale. You understand? So it's possible. APGA could go beyond this, but they have to look inwards and see how we can't have chairman of a party in one state, leader of a party in one state. It's not possible. You can't do better.
I think from the grapevine, I heard that they are going to spread out this time around.
They have to.
But this is where we are going to draw the curtain on this edition of Face the Press. For the past 40 minutes or thereabout, we've been talking with Dr. Elder Chris Usileka Iluomuno, the president of Ohanaeze Ndigbo in Anambra State and the chairman of presidents of Ohanaeze Ndigbo in the 7 Igbo-speaking states of Nigeria. Thank you so much for participating. I believe that it has been a very interesting one, and we will not hesitate to invite you some other time in the future to participate on this program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Iluomuno.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, and also give my thanks to my friends and colleagues, Alfonso Mweze.
Viewers, good night.
And Chuks Ilozue.
Thank you and good night.
Once again, I say good night to you. Bye-bye.